All right. Hey, happy August, Dream Team. I know most of us were on a power plan last night. It's funny, like they have us all doing these power plans and spreading the responsibility of it, but I don't feel like everybody gets on all the power plans. So I always laugh. It's kind of like I get to be with Dream Team Sunday and Monday, which I quite like. So that's fine. So I will say before I kick this off that tonight will be probably kind of short. I'm just going to tell a couple stories, give you a couple of thoughts, because Thursday at 1 o'clock Eastern, I don't want to say her name wrong, but I'll probably say it wrong. So let me pull it up really quick. I have asked Jennifer Welshin. I don't hope I don't say it wrong when she's here. Anyway, WELSHANS. If you are in the Sword of Four group, she has done several lives. I have asked her to do a team Zoom for us about consistency and daily habits. So she's going to do that Thursday at 1. And I know that's a work day and all that stuff. So I'm going to record it also. But she has kids and they have stuff at night. And so Monday night just didn't pan out for her, but she was super nice about talking to the team. So I will share the graphic when this is over. I just didn't want to share it before and confuse people. So anyway, so I want to talk a little bit about mindset. And I'm just going to share a story with you about myself because I feel like I'm the only one that can share stories about myself, right? We can only talk about ourselves accurately. Just all out honest. This is recorded. I may not even put this on YouTube. When Tom and I were in Puerto Vallarta and they announced that the trip was Vegas, we were both like, ugh, we're just not Vegas people. We're just not. The last time we went to Vegas, we found all these non-Vegas things to do. So I looked at him and I was like, the crowd is going crazy about this trip. And I looked at him and I'm like, we are like the least excited people in the crowd right now. And he just, laughed. We just laughed it off. So right there, strike one, Tammy. I already was like negative Nelly. So with that attitude, I will be very honest. I didn't really hit the ground running with Vegas in mind. I just didn't. At any time I got a no or not right now or ghosted, I was like, doesn't matter because I didn't want to go to Vegas anyway. Like this is where my mind has been going. So when we went to Puerto Vallarta in April, May, June. So June. So all of June, that was my attitude. All of July, except for the last probably week, that was my attitude. I was like, no big deal. But there was always this little voice in the back of my head was like, well, I still have to earn it. I'm a leader. I still have to show my team, even if I don't want to go, I have to show my team. Like I have to earn this. But then I was like, but it's okay if I don't. Like, you guys, it's been like dual brains going on in my head here the last couple months. And then I really started thinking, what is it about the getaways that I love? Granted, obviously, when they say Mexico, Tammy gets all excited, but it's being with the team. So I kind of started a new thing the last few, I tried it in New Orleans too. So I've tried, whenever we've had a really good group, I try to plan something for us as a group. Like we get to go do something as a group. And those have been like the highlights of the last couple of trips. If you guys have seen pictures, we did a catamaran ride in Cabo and we did a walking food tour, which we all thought we were going to die of heat on, but nonetheless, it was still kind of fun in Puerto Vallarta. And so I started thinking if I wussed out on earning Vegas, I would miss out on doing something. And then I was like, well, I will just, this again in my head, I'm like, it's okay. I still don't have to earn it and go. I'll just arrange for something and I'll pay for these people to go do something without me. And I was like, really? Because money falls from the sky. If you're not earning the trip, you're going to be paying for something. And then how very daddy Warbucks in me, like, I'm not going to be there with you, but go have fun. I'm like, what? That's no good. So I just had to have a little conversation with myself like a week or so ago. And I was like, what is wrong? Why am I even accepting that I would maybe not qualify? Why am I even playing with that idea? And I'm not even really sure still. I mean, I know part of it was like the onset of like, it's not really a place I care if we go or not. But that's a horrible mindset. It's a horrible mindset, right? I would be the first one to tell you guys, you should still earn it. Like there are people who I know flat out the day I announced the leadership retreat in Florida, they were like, oh, so-and-so's getting married. Oh, I'm already, but I was like, well, you should still earn it. Oh, really? Pot kettle black? You should still. So what I have been doing the last couple of weeks is really, truly, honestly diving into my mindset. And I think part of it is I have let the whole, it doesn't matter if I earn Vegas or not, get under my skin because I am competitive. And even though I was telling myself it wouldn't matter, it did matter tremendously to me, obviously. Otherwise, I wouldn't have thought twice about it, right? I wouldn't have had all these like conversations in my head, left, right, and all that stuff. So, like I was saying last night in the power plan, when you have a goal and it goes past your mind and you toss it around in your head like that and you try to get rid of it and it keeps coming back, it's because it's meant for you. Like it's meant for it. Like the sheer fact that I was like, I'm not crazy about Vegas, but I need to go. Like that was it. I should have stopped arguing with myself in the first 2 minutes when they announced it and just gone balls to the walls like normal and put all my effort behind it instead of dilly-dallying around till we had 1 month left. But really what I started doing was instead of playing it small and thinking it's okay if I don't go on a trip, no one's going to say anything. My gosh, you've earned all these other trips. Now, why would anybody think anything if you missed one trip? Like I was just rationalizing over and over and over in my head why it would be okay not to earn a trip. And I think we all do that, right? Are there times where you're like, oh, it'll be okay if I don't get 12K this month, it'll be okay. Like no one's going to know for sure because nobody checks my paycheck. Or if I don't qualify for this, it's okay. No one's going to know. Or like we rationalize all the time why it's okay not to get to the goals that we have set for ourselves. And so I want you to think, what goals do you have that you have been rationalizing away? And you don't have to say them, but I want you to think about them. And I want to go back to what I said last night on that plan. If you have a goal and it keeps coming up for you, it's because it's meant for you. And the only reason you haven't reached it yet is because you keep blocking it somehow. So when I finally made my mind up that this was stupid, that I was dilly-dallying around with Vegas, that I not only needed to be there, but I want to be there with my people, magic happened. Like I told you guys the story last night. The one girl called me out of nowhere who had disappeared a couple times, and now she's back, and now she wants to promote. And like there was a promoter pack that I never thought I would get because I kept saying, well, how am I going to go to Vegas? I don't have anybody that's even interested in promoting. Like I kept putting that out there. Like I'm not going to be able to go. No one's interested. No one's interested. I can't go. I need 2 new customers, and no one's even asking me about Thrive. Oh, there's no way. And so what happens? I get messages from people. Hey, I've been wanting to try this Thrive stuff. Like once you make the decision, the want, the will, like it comes. Mindset shift. Mindset shift is awesome. Yes. And so sometimes you can shift your mindset on your own. Sometimes someone will push you to shift your mindset. But I will say in that case, so like in Sandra's case, someone pushed her. It was still your decision which direction you went with that, because somebody could have pushed you over the edge. But this, you allowed it to push you further. And so keep that in mind when things are coming against you. Instead of letting it push you over the edge, like let it propel you forward. One of the things I was listening to, and I told you guys, I've been very open about this. I'm listening to a ton of Bob Proctor, a ton. To me, again, totally honest, Think and Grow Rich is a incredibly hard book for me to get through. Reading it is an absolute no-go. Like that's just a no-go. And listening to it, I can get into some of it, but even that, it's just, I mean, if you guys have listened to it, you know, it's kind of, I don't know, old-fashioned writing, or I don't know what to call that. But Bob Proctor loves it so much, and he's like digested it that it's almost like when you go to church and your pastor kind of brings the scripture into modern day, and then you're like, oh, I get it now. Right? Or is that just me? Am I the only one that goes to church like that? So for me, that's kind of what he's doing. And it's funny because the man has been studying this and teaching this for like 60 some years. So he will just all of a sudden in the middle of a video whip out chapter 7 page, and he'll tell you what it would say without reading it. That's how well he knows it. But then he brings it in. So anyway, one of the things that he talked about was if you look around, like right now, the space you're in the room you're in right now, everything in the room that you're in. So I have a desk, I have a bookshelf, I'm sitting on the chair, I have 2 telephones sitting next to me. I've got this tripod thing with my camera, got a dog bed. I've got like everything in the room that you have right now. None of it you actually need. Like, it's nice to have a desk, but I could do this from the floor, right? It's nice to have a bookcase, but then I just have to fill it with books. But at some point in time in my life, I was like, I want a desk. In my case, I wanted a standing height desk. I want storage. The sheer fact that I wanted it is why it's in this room. All I had to do was want it, and I made it happen. So I want you to think about that the next time you're like, I can't get 12K or I can't get to Vegas. All you have to do is start with actually wanting it, and you can get there. So let me put this into perspective that I think most people can understand. How many of you have talked to a prospective person who doesn't sleep good, wants to lose weight, has no energy, and they really want to thrive, but they can't afford it? And then you see on Facebook, they're getting a new tattoo, right? What you want is what you will get. So you got to think, what do you really want? Now, I didn't want a gold plated, gilded, whatever fancy desk. I just wanted a basic standing height desk that I could use that would be easy to clean. Like, these are the things in my head I wanted. So what do I have? A white melamine IKEA tabletop that's easy to clean. Now, had I thought to myself, I want an oak, cherry, whatever fancy desk, you can guarantee that's what I would have, right? Like, when you go in your bedroom and you see your comforter, you wanted that at some time. Your curtains on your walls, you wanted that at some time, right? Whether you had the money or not, you wanted it and you got it. You may have put it on your credit card. You may have sold something to get it. You will find a way to do and get whatever it is that you want. So that's where you have to really talk to yourself about, what do you want? So in my case, circling back to Vegas, do I really want to go to the strip and gamble? And no, I don't. But I want to be with my team, and I want to lead the team. I want to show the team that they can do this too. I want to have under my belt one more trip earned. Like, there are things that I want. And once I made the decision that that is what I wanted, and that people do want my product and people do want what we have, it changed everything for me. And I'm not even kidding. Not 2 weeks ago, there was no way I was going. No way. I didn't have the 2 customers. I didn't have the 2 promoter packs. So now I'm looking at earning the free airfare. So I need 1 more customer and 1 more promoter pack. And I was telling Tom earlier about that. He was like, what else do you need? So I told him, I go, and I'll get it. And that's exactly how I said it. Because why? Because I've decided that's what I'm going to do. So when you start doubting yourself, think about what the decision is. A lot of times when we're doubting ourselves, it's because we haven't made the decision of what we really want or why we really want it. And I know I sometimes struggle, and I'll just share this because maybe you do too. Sometimes I feel like I want it for other people's reasons, right? So like, oh, I should earn Vegas because Susan and Lindsay would want me to earn Vegas. Well, that is not going to get you to earn. I did not earn Vegas for them. I can guarantee you that right now. I did not. I love them and it'll be fun to see them, but that's not why I did it. I had to figure out why I wanted to go, and I wanted to go for our team. So by the way, this means you all need to try to earn it now, because I want to be there with you. So if you don't show up, I'm going to be really pissed. No, I'm just kidding. So don't earn something or do something or work for something for someone else. Just how we always say, like, who cares what people say? It's true. Who cares? If you have something you want, don't let anyone else's opinion stop you, and don't allow someone's opinion to be the reason you want something. So, I mean, to me, it's almost like a competitive thing. Like, sometimes you'll see people be like, well, I'm gonna earn this, or I'm gonna get that, or I'm gonna win this, or I'm gonna get these new customers, really because they just want to compete with somebody, not for a bigger reason, right? Do you know what does that make sense? Like, do you see that with people sometimes, or even in yourself? Like, I want to be the first one to get this, or maybe this is just me talking, I don't know. But like, sometimes I'll get in that mode, and then I have to stop and be like, well, that's not really a good reason to, like, being first isn't always the best, right? And so back to the case of my desk, somebody could have come in and be like, why would you want a standing height desk? That's silly. You should get a sit down desk. Didn't matter. It would not have mattered what they said. I had made up my mind. I had decided what I wanted. Somebody could have come in and be like, why would you want a cheap white IKEA desk? You should get a blah, blah, blah. And it wouldn't have mattered. I still would have gotten exactly what I wanted, right? I have exactly what I want in this room because I decided that's what I wanted. So I want you guys to think about that when you're struggling with your goals. sometimes you just have to have a quiet moment with yourself. What do you really want? So if you're looking at something like, to me, it's just easier to use 12K because I know that's that is like the best rank to me in the whole company. If you're looking at 12K because you want to be able to show off a car or you want to be able to prove to somebody that you could do it, that's not going to pan out. If you want 12K because you're ready to alleviate the stress of a monthly car payment, or you're ready to take your car that you already own and gift it to someone like what Sandra did, or you have maybe you have a car that's okay, but you're ready to have a reliable car that runs all the time, like whatever it is. Maybe you want to take the burden off of yourself or your spouse for paying for something. Like if you dig deep and you get to that level of a decision, then it's going to be a whole lot easier to know what you want and why you want it versus I want to put people are always like, I want the rank badge next to my name. Okay, well, rank badges come and go. You can hit 12K and lose it tomorrow. But if you're doing 12K because you want to alleviate that car payment, that's gonna take you to a whole other level. And like I said, I think it was last night I was talking about how I really had to dig deep with my goals as far as income goes because I live a comfortable life. Like sometimes I think I feel guilty about that, but like I'm not struggling to pay bills. I'm not struggling to keep the lights on. I'm not struggling to keep food in the house. I'm not struggling to buy clothes. So sometimes I think, well, I'm fine. Well, I don't have to have more. Like I don't need more. But it's okay to want more. And I know what I want to do with the more. And I think that's when that cleared it up for me. Is it's one thing to be like, I just want, like, I don't know, you see people on the internet, which is like the worst place to spend your time, just flaunting that they're rich, like just for the fact, you know what I mean? Just being rich for the fact of being rich. And half of those people probably aren't even really rich, by the way. That's not what I want to do with wealth and money. So think about what it is you want long-term, big picture. Yes, the rank is fun. Yes, getting that little haha moment to somebody who maybe said you couldn't do it. Like that's like the perk. But the thing that will push you there mindset wise and keep you where you need to go is truly understanding what it's going to do for you and why you want to do that. So the last thing I'll say before I get off here is Pam had never had AC in her car. Oh my gosh. Well, that's a hell of a good reason to want an auto bonus right there. In addition to thinking through your thoughts, I really want you to pay attention to where you're spending your time and where you're letting things come into your brain. So if you're spending a lot of time on social media, I'm going to encourage you to set a timer and get on and get off. Get on there to do the job you need to do and then get back off. If you're spending a lot of time sitting in front of the television watching the news, I'm going to encourage you to set a timer, get on, get off. The more you absorb information that someone else has deemed important for you. So if I get on Instagram right now, yes, there are people I follow, but Instagram as a corporation is also putting things in my feed that they have deemed necessary for me. If I turn on channel, we don't even watch TV anymore, I don't know, 5 or 12 or whatever, 7, 9, Cincinnati, Dayton, whatever is going to come through that TV is what someone else has deemed important for me. And so if you think about like a little kid who I don't know why this makes sense to me, but let's say you have a mom and a dad and they're fighting. And the mom starts telling the kid, your dad is this, your dad is that, your dad doesn't love you, you're blah, 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 blah. The kid's going to believe it because that's someone they trust. It's coming from a source that they trust. And it's information that person has deemed necessary for them. And it's going to go inside. And you all know just from that scenario, like your heart is like, oh, what a horrible mom. Why would you do that to your kid? Blah, blah, blah. Well, okay, media is doing it to us all day long because they make money doing it. So I really want you to think, where are you spending your time? Now, with that said, if I'm on YouTube listening to a Bob Proctor, I feel very comfortable with what I'm listening to. I chose it. It's what I want to hear right now. If I were to get on TikTok, maybe I will do my hashtag search, for my dog. I still have my list in front of me and I look at it every daggone day. You think I would know it by now. Dog mom, wife, small business owner, gardener, travel. Like that's intentional, but I don't allow myself to spend a lot of time scrolling because the scroll sucks your brain, takes your mindset away, all that jazz. So not only pay attention to what you're allowing your brain to think, but pay attention to what you're allowing to come into your brain. Music, TV, social media, all that stuff. Like one of the things I love about people, like people who I really look up to and respect, if I were to like find one thing about all of them that I admire, it's their bulletproof mindset. Like that, I'm so attracted to people with bulletproof mindsets. And you can't get that way if you're hearing everyone's opinion. You just can't. They're like, if everyone is coming at you and you're letting it all in, there's no way you're ever going to be rock solid with what you're thinking and what you want. So think about that. Where are you spending your time? Like our job is tricky because as a promoter, we're on social media, but I remind myself I'm on social media to find new customers, not to, I don't know, get all the other crap, right? Okay, so hopefully this helped you guys a little bit. If you are thinking to yourself, there's no way I can go to Vegas, I want to let you know that you can, because I did it in less than 2 weeks because I decided to, and you have a whole month left. So make the decision. That's really all it takes, is making the decision. And if you're like, yeah, I can't because I'm not really 12K. So even if I got the 2 customers and the 2 promoter orders, I don't have the volume. Okay, you're just making an excuse. In the process of getting 2 customers and 2 promoters, how do you know you won't get to 12K, right? Always try to qualify, because part of that is just making a promise to yourself and keeping it and proving to yourself that you can do this. That's where your self-confidence is going to come from. When you talk yourself out of it and you prove yourself correct over and over and over that you can't do something, you're just whittling away at your self-confidence, whittling away. So if you just commit right now, I'm going to get the 2 promoters and the 2 customers, and I'm detached from the outcome, but then you go get the 2 customers and the 2 promoters, you can be proud of that. You can absolutely be proud of that. And you can keep working on your volume in the process. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. I will share the graphic for Thursday at 1 o'clock. Jennifer Welshins, I think is how you say it. And like I said, she's in sort of 4, and I think she's done like at least 2, maybe 3 lives. I just like her. She's one of those bulletproof mindset people. Like as soon as every time I listen to her, I was like, oh, so I reached out and I was like, I love everything you're sharing in sort of 4. Would you talk to my team? And she was like, sure. So hopefully you can be on it. If not, I understand because it's a work day, but I'll record it. So anyway, let me double check, make sure I do everything. Sandra says I have all the requirements except for the customer/promoter order. So I'm like, what the hell, girl? It's coming. You just have to know it. You have to want it and know it. I want customers who need Thrive. Don't balk at $5 a day. Yeah. So the girl that reached out to me, this is a side note, but the girl that reached out to me about the, maybe I should promote kind of thing. If you listened, it's been a while, but when Courtney Glazer was talking one time about promoter packs, I only offered the girl the $400 pack. I didn't even explain to her there were other options. She said, maybe I should promote. And I said, yeah, actually, you should probably get the $400 pack because you're using it. Your mom's using it. You said you think your husband was to use it. And it comes with 10 samples that you can mail out. She was like, oh, that does sound like the great way to go. And I was like, oh my God. Like, why haven't I said this for 6 years to people? Because for 6 years, I was afraid. I was like, well, no one's going to want to spend that money. And she could have said, oh, I can't swing it. I could have then gone to the 200, but you can't say 200 and then go up to 400. So, again, you've always got to be learning from other people. I clearly learned that, and I didn't have that confidence, but I borrowed that confidence from someone else. And now that panned out, I totally have that confidence. So just know you're not alone when it comes to the mind games as far as like experiencing them, but you are alone as far as who can fix it, because it's only you. Like I had to have that conversation with myself. Tammy, you're the only person that's going to make or break this. You're the only person that can pull yourself up. You're the only person that can swing this stuff around. And it's really easy for me, like, well, I'm really busy with my other job and I'm really busy with this. I could tell you that all day long and it would be absolutely 1010% true. But I still had that nagging in the back of my gut. I can't not earn a trip. I can't be a true leader and not earn a trip. And it just kept coming to me. And that's when I was like, you know what? It's coming to me because it's meant for me. I got to get out of my own damn way. And so whatever keeps coming to you, it is meant for you. Get out of your own damn way. Coolio? Okay. All right. See you guys Thursday for those of you that can come. Bye.